Considered one of the greatest filmmakers in history, he's the director with the most works list in the ranking of the 100 greatest films of all time. He's also among the richest people in the world. And today on our episode of Hero's Journey, we're going to tell the victorious story of Steven Spielberg, the Wizard of Hollywood. Like every great adventure, the protagonist starts in an ordinary life before embarking on a great journey. Steven Spielberg was born in 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and lived a somewhat nomadic lifestyle for much of his childhood. This was because his father, Arnold Spielberg, was an electrical engineer and a pioneer in the computer industry. His profession required the family to move frequently, which meant Spielberg spent parts of his childhood in various cities. This family background, especially of travel and change, exposed Spielberg to various distinct realities and contacts with many types of people and new worldviews. This indirectly influenced his perception of reality and increased his creative repertoire in cinema years later. Even in childhood, his interest in cinema began to gain strength. At the time, he used his 3 younger sisters to be part of his home movies, a project that was interrupted in his adolescence when he separated from them after his parents' divorce. And this sad event of his parents' breakup could be considered the first major villain of our hero in formation. Spielberg became an increasingly isolated child at school and had difficulty making friends. Accepting his parents' separation took time for him, and so he used to create imaginary worlds in his head as a form of escapism from reality. Therefore, during his youth, Spielberg faced bullying at school from other classmates who found him a bit crazy, but he also suffered prejudice due to his Jewish ethnicity. However, these difficulties shaped our hero's behavior, who had to deal with these experiences of exclusion and isolation, which contributed to the development of his empathy and his ability to tell stories that appealed to the marginalized and the misunderstood. And it didn't take long for his talents to be recognized. He started making home movies using a simple 8mm camera, and at the age of 13, Spielberg won his first cinema-related award with a short film, Escape to Nowhere. 3 years later, he would make his first feature film, Firelight, a science fiction that he screened at a local cinema. These initial projects not only served as a means for Spielberg to explore his passions and skills, but also as an early indication of his future as a filmmaker. However, his talent was not enough to achieve his goal of attending the prestigious School of Cinematic Arts at the University of Southern California after finishing high school. This was a turbulent time for our hero, who had to deal with rejection and shattered expectations of his dreams. This rejection could have discouraged many, but for Spielberg, they served as a temporary setback, not a definitive failure. And he managed to bounce back and enrolled in an English literature course at California State University. Interestingly, during his undergraduate years, he produced 5 short films. Gradually, Spielberg accumulated new knowledge, honed his skills, and carved out his pace. But the great opportunity of our hero's life came years later. Spielberg's transition to the professional world of cinema came with an opportunity that few have: an internship at Universal Studios. This internship was arranged after he impressed one of the Universal executives with a short film he had made. Spielberg, at just 20 years old, literally crossed the threshold of the studio gates, entering the special world of professional cinema. During his time at Universal, he had the opportunity to create a short film named Amblin, which caught the industry's attention and resulted in a television directing contract, the first achievement of his professional career. But let's remember that no hero can accomplish great deeds without the help of allies. During this period, Spielberg began forming important relationships that would become fundamental to his career. For example, the connection with Sidney Sheinberg, who was responsible for opening doors for him and serving as a mentor in the early stages of his career, teaching the secrets behind major productions. However, the years at Universal were quite challenging, as he faced skepticism from colleagues and critics who questioned his youth and inexperience. Additionally, Spielberg had to overcome his insecurities and learn to trust his vision and creative instincts, a process common to many artists at the beginning of their careers. Our hero needed to persevere in his work to finally achieve significant results that silenced the critics and proved his worth. And his success story came in 1975. His first major work was Jaws. With over $200 million at the box office, the film was a milestone in special effects. After that, Spielberg continued to establish himself as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, creating unforgettable and globally acclaimed films. He was behind works such as E.T., which captured hearts around the world, becoming a timeless classic. The Schindler's List, where Spielberg explored the territory of a historical drama, earning him the Oscar for Best Director. Jurassic Park, which revolutionized special effects in cinema, redefining adventure and science fiction films. Saving Private Ryan, which offered one of the most realistic representations of World War II, highlighting Spielberg's ability to direct war films and starting a successful partnership with the actor Tom Hanks. And of course many more that we could spend hours naming them here. Throughout his career, Steven Spielberg has been nominated for 19 Oscars and has won 3, 2 for Best Director and 1 for Best Picture. In addition to the Oscars, Spielberg has received numerous other honors, including Golden Globes, BAFTAs, and the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award from the Academy, recognizing his notable contribution to the film industry as a whole. Spielberg also co-founded DreamWorks, one of the most successful film production and distribution studios in Hollywood, marking his impact not only as a filmmaker but also as an influential industry executive. In 2024, according to Forbes, Steven Spielberg's fortune is estimated at $4.8 billion. And our hero has also been involved in social initiatives outside of cinema, including the founding of the Show Foundation, which aims to preserve the testimonies of Holocaust survivors. Spielberg's influence extends beyond his awards, impacting popular culture, cinematic technology, and how stories should be told. His legacy includes a significant contribution in terms of how the seventh art can be used to evoke great emotional appeal, historical awareness, and entertainment. Spielberg is definitely the classic hero, a common man who lived a difficult childhood, discovered his gifts, and fought the good fight for his dreams until fulfilling his personal legend and spreading good narratives around the world. Steven Spielberg remains a source of inspiration for filmmakers and cinema fans. And for us, it's a great honor to tell the story of the man behind the greatest stories of all time. But what about you? Were you already familiar with Steven Spielberg's incredible journey? If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like to reach more people. And if you also love to learn about the journey of ordinary men and women who became real-life heroes, subscribe to our channel to receive our next Hero's Journey episode. Today we're wrapping up here. Until next time.